In this video clip, we will draw the graphs of two functions. One is the blue function, y equals log base 2 to the x. Another is the red function, y equals log 1/2 to the x. Let's see how to calculate the coordinate plane, y coordinate first. When x equals 1/2 for the blue function, what we get will be this. So y equals log base 2 to the 1/4. Then this will be log base 2 to the 1/2, then squared. We know 1/2 squared is 1/4. Then we know that will be log base 2 to the 2 negative 1, then squared, because 2 to the negative 1 is 1/2. Then you have a negative 1 times 2, so you have a log base 2 to the 2, then negative 2. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. We then can take this negative 2 down to the front. So you have then log base 2 to the 2, and this value, let me mark it. This value is 1. Okay. So then we get is negative 2. Okay. Because, again, this value equals 1. This value equals 1. Okay, let me mark it here, equals 1 here. Alright. Okay, now then we look at the red function. Red function is the function right here. This one. So we got to calculate the value. Y equals log 1/2 to the 1/4. And then we see that will be log 1/2 and then 1/4. 1/4, you may rewrite this like 1/2 squared. And then we know that will be 2 times log 1/2 to the 1/2. And we know this value is 1, because base equals the power. So let me write this 2 better. 2. This value is 1. So then we know 2 times 1 is 2. Okay. So this is how we got 1 is 2 for red function. Another is negative 2. So when x equals 1/4 is roughly here. For the blue function, we have a negative 2. For the red function, we have a positive 2. So we got 2 different points. You may also using the calculator to do it. For the calculator, let me do this way. We're going to use base change formula. Remember, log base 2 to the 1/4 can be calculated in either way, in two ways. One way is you may choose natural log or you may choose common log. We choose common log, we calculate 1/4, and then here will be log base 2. We calculate in this way. So let's turn on the calculator, and then we calculate this value, -2. We do will be log, then here we want to input 1 divided by 4, and then divided by log 2, close bracket. You hit enter, you have a -2 for this one. Okay. Now let's calculate another one. Another one is log. Log is still 1 divided by 4, and then divided by log. And here is 1/2. The base is 1/2. Okay, so we divide it by 1 divided by 2. Okay, so we hit enter, we got +2. So this is how we got this value 2 by using a calculator. All right. Now we know how to calculate this value and this value. And similarly, when x equals 1/8, we can calculate this value and this value. So then we got 2 points. The first one is the one right here. When x equals 1/8, you have a -3 for blue value, and you have a red 3 for this point, for y value. Okay, so that was the first point, 1/8 -3 and 1/8 +3. The second point we did in this way. Okay, and the third point is 1/2. When x equals 1/2, you then have a -1, +1. When x equals 1, both, you got 0. And then keep going. Okay, x equals 2, you have a, when is blue value 1, x equals 2, you have a blue value 1. You have a red value -1. For the x equals 2, red value is -1. So at this point, you may play that frame by frame, and you'll get the picture. You can see those two graphs are symmetric with respect to x-axis. If you put the original exponential function, you'll get y equals 2 to the x. This function is symmetric with this function, the logarithm, with respect to y equals x, this line. And for y equals 1/2 x, that's a decreasing function. And the graph of 1/2 to the x and y equals 1/2 log base 1/2 to the x is also a decreasing function. those two functions are symmetric with respect to y equals x, this line. Okay, so please review this lecture. I'll see you next time.